Good morning. I'm Brady Burrell coming to you live from the Patterson Community Center, whereas we're visiting with Mayor Rodney Grogan with the city of Patterson and Ms. Julia Sterling. She is the event coordinator here with the Patterson Community Center, a very important series of town hall meetings that will be taking place the next 6 weeks, beginning this Monday, June 6th, at the Patterson Civic Center. These town halls will address gun violence, drug issues, home invasions, other things that will be addressed that are very important to our parish. Mayor Grogan, I'm going to let you go ahead and take the first question. How important this, as a mayor, of course, the mayors will be the first speakers this Monday evening. How important are these town hall meetings to our community?
It's very important. All the mayors have been meeting and actually trying to figure out how we're going to actually solve the problems that we're having with our young people. And so with the constant gun violence that we're enduring within this community and around the state across the nation, we just said it was enough. We needed to actually get together, come up with a plan, bring all the institutions together to try to figure out and not point our fingers, but try to figure out how we can help solve this. You know, it all evolved from a shooting in Patterson, and a lot of people hit Facebook actually saying we need to go to the town hall meetings and address the mayor and address the chief of police and so forth. There's a different town hall meetings are where we actually take care of city business. But when you get into actual town hall meetings to address specific concerns, but those are where we came up with this as to say, okay, we will meet. And I would tell you, Lee Dragner, the mayor of Morgan City, he wanted to do it right then and there, and we said, wait, we need to have a plan. Mayor Fulcourt, because he has been hit twice with this, plus that's where a lot of shootings have occurred in the Franklin area, and we've had our share here in Patterson. Baldwin has had his share. Duval is the only one I don't think has had as much gun violence, but he's had other problems. We all have problems, but they're all at different levels. So we heard the cries from the citizens that were on Facebook on Julia's page actually saying, we need to have this, we need to have that, we have questions that we need answered. Well, we said, okay, we're going to do this in sixfold. The mayors, because the public need to know the role of a mayor. The public also need to know straight up that an elected chief of police is different from an appointed chief of police. Okay, they need to know exactly what we have actually placed there to solve gun violence. What we have in place to help with the pandemic, what we have in place to help with home invasions. But at the end of the day, we've had enough. We've had enough.
Now, Ms. Julia Sterling, you have been doing such a great job of organizing these. If you can tell us, what can they expect when they attend these town hall meetings?
Sure. What they can expect is all the mayors from across the parish for this first meeting on June the 6th. All the mayors across the entire St. Mary Parish will be there. There has been questions that was submitted that some of the mayors will be asked the questions. Not every mayor is going to answer the same question. It just depends on what they're actually facing at that time, just for them to explain their role in this whole process as to what their responsibilities are. They could expect that. So the question and answers will be based on the questions that were submitted, and we're not quite sure yet about the opening up to the floor to the audience, so we'll play that by ear once we get there and kind of based on the questions that's answered and the time that's going by.
And I will tell you that KQKI will broadcast as many of these town hall meetings live on our video platforms, including this Monday night. We will bring it to you live as staffing allows. We will try to bring as many of these to you live as we can in case you're not able to make it. I want to bring in now Ms. Diane Wiltz with Tesh Talk. She is joining me on this interview today. Ms. Diane, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Thank you so much, Brady, for including us in this. And thank you, Mayor Grogan and Julia, for what you're doing, and to all the mayors, because I know that this was a well-coordinated effort. Let's talk about that town hall meeting again. Mayor, first of all, I want to thank you, too, for distinguishing between a city council meeting, which is to take care of business, and a town hall meeting, which is designed to get a pulse on what the people are feeling here. You talked about several issues that you expect to address at this first town hall meeting in the series that we talked about. Tell me some of the other issues. We know topping the agenda will be gun violence, but let's talk about some of the other issues there that we've seen across the parish.
Well, we know home invasions. We do know with the pandemic and so forth, and it's a lot of times when you listen to your parents are very wise. And my dad told me, he said, Rodney says, as much as they pump money out there and give so much money, when we get out of this pandemic, people won't have money and so forth, and they're going to start breaking in homes because they're going to be addicted to drugs, and they're going to be used to getting this amount of money and that amount of money. And as soon as we started opening back up, we started having home invasions. We also have problems with people that have been, once again, the pandemic, a lot of domestic violence. People were basically forced to spend many hours with their spouses, with their children and so forth. The use of alcohol increased. People have actually started using the fentanyl more within this area. So you've had all type of behaviors that have increased and contributing to a lot of the criminal activities. The gun violence is something that, once again, is all centered around drugs. The mindset we have, I find here in Patterson, we have more young ladies that are using a lot of the pills and so forth just to get them out of the current state of mind, so they don't have to worry about the problems that they're enduring at home with their kids, with their spouse, and so forth. So the criminal activities all across the board has increased and so forth. So that's what we want to say as a mayor. Rodney Grogan, what do you have in place for gun violence? Well, what I have in place, my police department has a budget and so forth. They have for training. My police department, they have the salaries. Right now, I can tell you, we are down 5 police officers. We're the second top paid department in St. Mary Parish. But it's just not Patterson. It's just not Morgan City, not Franklin. All across the state, people are not knocking on the doors to work in law enforcement anymore. So,
Mayor, I want to thank you for that. And again, from what I can understand, you and I assume the other mayors as well, feel that even though the gun violence is at epidemic status across the nation, you're contributing, you're thinking a lot of this is from the pandemic, the gun violence, the break-ins, the domestic violence. And of course, the community will want to know how are we going to address that. Now I'm going to get over to Julia right quick before I turn this back over to Brady. First of all, again to you, Julia, thank you so much for what you're doing here in the Patterson area and for coordinating this event. As I understand it, the questions must be submitted for this town hall. Can you talk about that? Because the general public is invited, but I think I heard the mayor said that either y'all are considering taking questions from the floor or not. So talk to me about that. The questions are submitted.
Yes, we are asking the public to submit their questions that they may have. In fact, we had been asking for the last couple of weeks, so cutoff for the mayor's questions will be today at 5 o'clock. So if there's any other questions that need to be submitted, the cutoff for the mayor's questions should be submitted by today. It could be submitted, which is Julia, J-U, or May at att.net. That's Julia_May at att.net, at least by 5 o'clock today, to have the questions submitted that they're going to be asking for the mayors.
Now, okay, I'm glad you said mayors.
Yes, for the mayors.
For the other municipalities then, those questions will be submitted to you as well. So I'm talking Morgan City, Berwick, Franklin, Baldwin, all should be submitted to
Yes,
the email
ma'am.
address.
Yes, ma'am.
We did
Absolutely.
discuss the fact that now we're talking about these are 90-minute sessions. We're not going to be there all night and so forth. 90-minute sessions. We looked at about 45 minutes with the questions that basically were previously prior submitted. And for reason with that is because we would like to have prior knowledge of what we're being asked. Okay, this is not a got you session. It's basically people need to know what my role as a mayor is. You know, it's not my role to be out there with a gun and doing detective work and so forth. Why this is not happening? There are certain people you need to ask those questions too, and some questions I can't answer. So we're thinking 45 minutes with the questions because it's going to be cut and dry with the mayors. Okay, and then 45 minutes we're thinking if we have a table set up on the outside and a person that want to submit, because think about it, we don't want repetitive and redundant questions. So if someone walks through the door and write on a card their question, that may be a law enforcement question. That may be an education question. That may be a faith-based question. That may be a Dr. Malone or Dr. Wilkes question or Byron Jones who works for a funeral home.
So as we talk about these series of town hall meetings, then those questions may be part of the series, but they will be addressed in another segment of that.
You may have a question. Why would you ask a mayor why nothing is being done? Why they're being released back on the street? Well, I'm not law. That's a system. That's judicial. That's session 2 with the chiefs of police and the prosecutors.
Okay, good deal. Yes, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank
You're welcome.
Julia. This sounds really great information for our general public to be able to come to a general consensus and a working relationship there. I am going to say this, and Mayor Folkart says this all the time, and I'm sure you do too. If you see something, if you know something, say something. You're coming to the mayors, you're going to the police chiefs and all of this, but if you know something, say something so that these things can be resolved. Thank you so much.
But I do want to say this too, and you all know me. Some of the problem here in Patterson, we have parents that are upholding their children. When you pick up a child and drive a child away from the scene of crime, you are an accessory to it. You are contributing to it. And that's a lot of problems we have here in Patterson.
Thank you, Mayor.
One other question for Julia. You do, as we mentioned, this is a series. Monday night, June 6th at 6 p.m. at the Patterson Civic Center, beginning with the mayors. The following Monday, from what we understand, will be with the chiefs of police. What other events are you planning in this series?
Okay, the chiefs of police will be the following Monday. Also, the district attorney, we'll have several judges there. The third series will be the social services, mental health, and the school board issues. The fourth series should be faith-based. The fourth series will be the faith-based. Your fifth series will be your grieving parents, gun violence or overdose. Yes, or drug issues. That will be, and then the last one will be the sixth series. We will open up to the children to come out. We need to hear from the youth. We need to hear.
What we're not providing.
Right. What are we missing? What do we need to be able to provide? So that's why it's been broken up into 6 different sessions, because we're trying to focus on every spectrum around the whole globe as to what we need to provide. So it's very important. It is open to the public. So, if you wanted to catch the very first one and continue through all 6 sessions, I would highly recommend that you catch as many as you can, so that way you won't be lost in the process. So attending them all would be the best thing.
And I think, Diane, as you worked along with, as we worked as a team with Jackie and with the substance abuse, I think we need to come up with a plan, parish-wide. Take all of this information and come up with a plan. Because when you think about it, I guess if I was asked the question right now, Mayor, at City Hall, do you have an active shooter plan on hand right now? We have to be prepared at all times. We just can't think because we live in a small community it's not going to happen.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you, Ms. Diane Will. for joining us today. And also, don't forget, we will do our very best to cover as many of these live on our video platforms, and we will be promoting them ahead of time. Again, you can join us Monday night at 6 o'clock here on the KQKI Digital Network, Facebook, our KQKI smartphone app, KQKI.live, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and YouTube.